Karjakin and Magnus Carlsen, because I've seen it in their World Championship match as well. Carlsen was actually on the white side and Karjakin was on the black side. Actually, in that game, Carlsen won, leveled the score, and actually saved his title. But after knight h5, very often we see this move, knight takes e5, because now the queen attacks the knight on h5. It's a discovery attack. The problem is that after knight takes e5, queen takes h5. Now the queen is completely locked on the side of the board, and black has this extra move of bishop to g4. The problem is you can take another pawn with check, but I'm simply just going to move my king away, and now your queen is trapped. This is a very important pattern that just simply allows black to move his knight on the side, redirect it all the way to f4, and try to start an attack against white's king.
Yeah, I think, let me take that back. I've certainly gotten my queen trapped. I got my hand caught in the cookie jar and played knight takes e5 on a couple of occasions. I think it took me like two losses to get that pattern fixed in my mind.
That would work if the pawn
It was pretty good. That's why you were number 3 player in the world. For most people, it's like 6 or 7.
Right. But it was reaffirmed that capture. But now, having said that, isn't that knight b3 like pretty a peculiar move? Help me understand that one by Sergey. Okay, we understand that knight takes e5 was a mistake.
Well,
would be a mistake. But knight b3, what's the knight doing on b3?
I think knight b3 actually has a very fair point, a threat, an immediate threat, and that is if you make a move such as castle. I might be wrong on this one, but I think b5 takes knight e7 and then b6. The problem is that if you do it with a knight on d2, in this position, black could potentially have the move bishop takes f2, and the rook on a1 would be unprotected. With the knight on b3 protecting the rook on a1, now black is forced to retreat all the way to e7, and I can play this move b6. The computer doesn't like it. I think probably the computer likes something like bishop e3. Yeah, bishop e3, or we also have the move knight takes g5 now.
Right.
We have a lot of moves. The point being, the knight on b3 is protecting the rook on a1, and we're going to have, once these pawns clear up off the board, we're going to have this nice initiative on the a file because of these two pieces that are quite uncomfortable.
Okay, just staying there with you, Christian, a moment. I mean, it seems to me that when Magnus played the move knight h5, he really just wants to drop his knight into the f4 square. Let's say after knight b3, knight f4, that looks like really logical continuation from both sides.
And the same what rises b5.
Right, knight e7. No, I don't want to.
You don't want to
open up the a file. Aren't you chasing black's knight to the king side where he wants to go?
And then I'm just
no, d4.
d4.
Okay. Attacking the pawn on e5.
There's this bishop attack on e5, and if you put this knight on g6, we see these two knights are going to step on each other's feet. We're not going to find both of them optimal squares. So at the right moment, I can play the move g3, maybe even in this position, because you no longer have the move knight to h3 attacking the pawn on f2, because your bishop is blocked after this move d4. So this pawn on g3 is specifically aimed at this knight on g6. It's controlling and dominating him quite nicely, and I think white is to be preferred in this position.
I like that. Instead of superfluous knight, clumsy dancers.
Ooh,
I like that.
I'm not sure I ever heard that one. Clumsy dancers are always the superfluous knights. But that goes better.
Well, yeah, dance salsa with me sometime.
Yeah, me too. I think we'll be mutually treading on each other's toes. Back to the game between MPL and Incontinent.
But we have some huge developments in the game between Sergey Karjakin and Magnus Carlsen. Sergey Karjakin came very well prepared to this game. And in this position, after the move knight b3, you were asking Yasser, what is that knight doing on b3? Why is he there? Well, as I mentioned, it defends the rook on a1. And we've seen this move g4 play out on the board. And in this position, a counter with b5. Knight e2 probably wouldn't have been as good, because after queen f6, black manages to activate his pieces and his position would be preferable. The problem is that after b5, I'm starting to like white quite a lot. The engine was actually proposing this like 8 takes b5, 8 takes b5, bishop takes f2, king takes f2, rook takes a1. Now you see why the knight is very well placed on b3. Knight takes a1, g takes f3, and in this position a very beautiful move, pawn to g3, controlling the knight on h5, preparing to recapture on f3 with the queen if you play something like bishop g4. Now the knight on a1, oh wait, sorry, the knight on c6, let's not forget about it, is under attack. So after g3 probably you have to play a move such as knight to e7, but after queen f3 the position looks really bad. Simply black is lacking coordination and white's pieces are all swarming around black's king. The structure is also definitely better for white. So after b5 he played the move g takes f3. This is the position we currently have on the board. Now we definitely don't want to take the knight on c6. Queen takes f3 has to come on the board, and it actually came on the board. Now both the knights are under attack. Black is going to have to make a decision. Which knight is he going to allow white to take? He did allow this knight. I think queen takes f6 is going to come on the board. Knight takes f6, b takes c6, b takes c6. We're going to see this endgame play out, but we have double pawns for black. While white has a better structure, he basically has a pawn up on the king side. I definitely prefer white in this endgame. What do you think, guys?
And several more moves have been made.
They are catching up to exactly that ending that you pointed out. Queen takes f3, queen f6. Nice move. There was a trade of queens. He took the knight, just as you said, and Christian, and Magnus has recaptured the pawn. Now they're in that tricky endgame where black has the double C pawns. White has this nice kingside majority, but I wanted to ask you about the resulting position that has occurred. We see also an open G file, as well as the potential for play either based on d6, d5, as well as knight g4. The world champion didn't just go into a position with a bad pawn structure. He must have felt that he's got some dynamic options that justified the damaged pawn structure, but you're doubtful that the world champion made the right call.
I think given the position and given the complexity of the position and the way that Karjakin was playing very quickly with a lot of confidence, obviously prepared for those lines, you don't want to enter in some sharp position. You would rather take the practical choice and just drive the game into an endgame as Magnus Carlsen did. And the position is slightly worse, of course. As you mentioned, there is some dynamic compensation on the king side. I think white potentially could go with the knight on a5. This is a very nice place for the knight on the side, but attacking the pawn on c6. And bishop d7 probably is going to be played.
Forced, yeah.
And then maybe even this move, d4. Though that looks a bit computerish, so I would play a move such as bishop e3, I would say.
I recall a game, I think it was from the Sinquefield Cup here in St. Louis, where Wesley So was white, had a really kind of similar grip position, and then Magnus turned the tables with rook. The rook went to b8, and wow, before you know it, the rook was on b2, and the world champion had taken Wesley to the shed. Something similar, but okay, all of these positions have some kind of look and feel that seem the same, but have peculiar differences.
I think this was definitely the practical choice, and Magnus knows it. He's going to be under some pressure in the upcoming moves. If he plays precise moves, then he's probably going to escape with a draw. I don't think he has any chances of actually getting the victory in this one. But he did get a moral victory, and that is Sergey doesn't seem to be in his theory anymore.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. I see three results still. But Jennifer, we have our first caller of the day.
Yeah, Yes, welcome to